Che schifo. I won't even go through. John, good morning. Early morning Trump alive. Early morning Trump alive. Morning. How you been, buddy? Are you on my JohnAvanti channel? Yeah, let me see. Whoa, message already. Trolls instantly. Early morning trolls. Oh, you're not? This is my other channel, buddy. I'm going to live stream for a little while, and then I got to get ready and go out. I saw you holding a black man's hand in the village. Yeah, I was. What's wrong with holding a man's hand? They do that in Europe all the time. You know, when you go to Europe, a lot of the men, they walk hand in hand. They put their arms around each other. There's nothing wrong with that. They put their arms around each other. They walk down the street. I'm Italian, so Italians, when they're in Italy, they, like friends, hold hands all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. Two men can hold hands. There's nothing wrong with that. Men are allowed to love each other. You know that. There's nothing wrong with men having affection for each other. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. Same thing with women. There's nothing wrong with women, two good friends holding hands and showing each other affection. That's not taboo. Swastika, what's up, Swastika? Good morning. Morning, John. Looking good. Well, thank you, Drop Bear. Drop Bear, are you an Owen Benjamin fan? Because usually, like people with the name Bear, were one time Owen Benjamin followers. I used to watch him. Actually, I commented on his Twitter account. That's what the gaze? What is that even? What's a gaze? What does that even mean? No, but it's true. You think I'm kidding? There should be nothing wrong with two men who are good friends holding hands. Why should men be afraid to like, we shake hands, we bump fists, you know, sometimes we hug each other, you know, it's like stealing the rainbow flag. Like, it's like, not the rainbow flag, but it's like hijacking the rainbow. You know, so if two men want to, you know, show affection, right? That means, so they're considered happy guys. That's not right. It's true. The rainbow has been hijacked. The rainbow is for everybody. I mean, it's a natural occurrence. It's nature. How do you like say, oh, this belongs to us? No, it doesn't. The rainbow belongs to everybody. That's not your well, now they have a new one that looks ridiculous. So it doesn't even, represent a rainbow. It used to, the old one, the original one, but the new one, I'm glad they did that. They made this wacky fucking flag. Good. I look like Mike Oxlong. This got to be a joke. Mike Oxlong. Mike Oxlong is an actor known for his role in the 2023 Amityville apocalypse. Oh, thanks. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. How are you doing, buddy? It's actually proven to be unnatural. What is unnatural? Mohammed, no? Yeah, it's not. It's not. I mean, gay in the old days, the word gay used to mean happy. People used to say, let's have a gay time. Oh, like in the Flintstones, the song itself. Let's see. What year was the first Flintstone episode? So it's September 1960. The song itself said, we're going to have a gay old time, right? So it didn't mean that they were going to go and do the things what the word means today, right? It meant they're going to go and have a good time, fun. That's what gay meant. But now, if you look at a modern dictionary, it doesn't mean happy anymore. And if you look at the word happy, if you look up happy, and you do the synonym of happy, gay is the last word. I mean, there's so many words that mean happy, but gay is the last word. Let's see what the synonyms of gay is. What are the synonyms of gay? Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. It has nothing to do with being happy. Absolutely nothing. It's all, it's terrible. I mean, they literally took a fun word and turned it into, and the word was hijacked too. Hijacked. You know what I mean? But here's something funny. So it says here one. If you read the first, I guess, adjective, right? It says homosexual, queer, lesbian, lesbi, gay. I never even heard of that. LGBT, LGBTQ, GLBT. I never heard of that. That's something. But so that's one. Then if you go to two, it's cheerful. That's what it originally meant. Cheerful, cherry, merry, jolly, lighthearted, mirthful. I never heard that. Jovial and glad and happy. They left the word happy out because at one time, happy and gay were synonymous. They were interchangeable. But I mean, whatever. I mean, they couldn't have found a different word. They had to ruin the word gay. Hey, remember like in movies, like with James Cagney? Go watch those old black, he goes, hey, that's gay. Like, that's cool. I'm telling you. Like, if you watch old black and white movies, they would say the word gay all the time. And it didn't mean anything of what the number one line means. It didn't mean any of that. So they'll probably go around with these old movies and cut the word out because they don't want you to associate the word gay with just meaning being happy, joyful, cherry, merry, jolly, cheerful, lighthearted. It's the roadblocks. But also non-gay men can hug and kiss. But they do it in Europe all the time. All the time, like Spanish people, mostly like the Latino people, like in Italy, in France, in Spain, the people who speak the Romance language, right? I don't know. Maybe in Germany they do the same thing. I doubt it in Germany, but there's probably other places in Europe where men will hug and kiss. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with kissing your father or your brother? You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Even a close friend, a relative. Like, why is that? Like, why do you have to be looked at like, oh, wow, he kissed another man? Oh, that's taboo. No, it's Scrooge McDuck. Indecency. Well, go to yeah, well, I agree with that. Indecency. Well, what about MMA? Isn't that indecency? What about wrestling? The These guys come out fucking exhibitionists. I mean, they come out and they're wrestling, balls in the face. Like the guy rear ends him and he's holding him like by his waist, and he's like, and then he flips him. That's a little bit too much for me. That's why I don't watch that shit anymore. Who do you align with? Well, I don't really align with any political party right now. I'm supporting Donald Trump and how he's hopefully going to fix the government and eliminate all the fraud and the waste money and eliminate taxes. I mean, that's the goal here. That's Donald Trump's goal, is to wipe out taxes for the American people and tax goods and services. And I don't know why he hasn't started that. Well, the state of New Jersey, being liberal Democrat, has done something very good for the people of New Jersey. They've started to tax storage units at the rate of 7% per month. That's a lot of money. Let me see. How many storage units are there in New Jersey? I don't have a pen. So Texas has the most storage units. Storage unit facilities with 5,564, while Hawaii has the least. So you figure you can rent a 20 by 30 storage unit for $679 a month and pay 7% tax. That's paying rent. A 10 by 15 is $225, right? And there's probably, depends where you go. The further out, the more secluded the storage facility is, the cheaper it's going to be. In the more populated, dense area you are, where there's more demand for the storage unit, naturally it's going to go up in price, right? So that's how it works. But if the state of New Jersey, let's say they have, 1 million storage units in total, and then you take an average of that and tax it by 7%, that's big money. That's a lot of money. That's a good thing. I'm losing Social Security, education rights, and democracies. Really? How are you losing Social Security rights, education rights, and democracy good for America? Nobody's losing Social Security rights. What the government is doing is they're removing people who are well, they're not even people. They're removing Social Security accounts that the people are not alive anymore. They're removing the fraud. The U.S. federal education system receives $275 billion a year. Yeah, think about it. 207. What are these people doing? It's not like the American educational system is number one. It's like the lowest. It's below 10, below 15. So why is this government paying a bureaucracy, right? Or having a part of the government that's costing $275 billion? Like, what are they doing with all that money? Where is the outcome out? Like, aren't you supposed to show, look what we're doing, to make American educational system better? They're not doing anything. What the fuck are they doing with all that money? So Donald Trump is eliminating it because it doesn't help the educational system in the country. And democracy, you voted for your president. So democracy's there. You're still voting. No one's removing your right to vote. That's what democracy is. your right to vote, your peers into office. They're not your leaders. Like when you elect a senator, a congressman, a mayor, they're not your leaders. They're there to represent you and lower your taxes. That's their job. Their job is not to worry about foreign companies, Canada, Israel. They're not supposed to worry about anything but Americans. But yet, instead of working for the American people, they're working for foreign companies. That's what they're doing. They're working for foreign countries, taxing you to fund them or to make them not pay any taxes, taxing you, raising your taxes. When was the last time a Democrat said, we're going to lower your taxes? Can somebody bring up a clip where Vice President Harris, during her campaigned on lowering taxes for Americans? We're going to lower your taxes. Nancy Pelosi campaigned, not campaigned, but went on TV stating that we're going to raise your Social Security age. Yeah, that's what she said. While probably knowing that there is Social Security fraud. She's not concerned with cutting the fraud out. No. She's concerned with raising your Social Security aid to continue the fraud, to fund it, because the money's running out. That's why they say the money's running out. The money's running out because there's people collecting Social Security that are not alive. In the millions and millions of dollars every month. Hundreds of millions of dollars to people that are not alive are going to them. And Democrats think that he's ruining the Social Security system. It's not true. Someone find a clip of Trump managing a complete sentence. Come on, dude. Who said that? Rubber frog? Rubber frog. Rubber frog. Have you ever watched a Trump rally? Did you see the State of the Union when he spoke for 2 hours? 2 hours. And it wasn't a ramble. He used to have rallies, they lasted 4 hours. 4 hours. He would go on a rally and speak for over 2 hours by himself. Where his opponent had to bring in performers, actors, comedians, jugglers. And then she would come on and speak for like 15 minutes and say, tax the rich, tax corporations. That's what he would say. And then that was the end of it. I don't think there was ever any president that had like a 2-hour his last State of the Union. I was like, when is this fucking thing going to be over? It ended at 11 o'clock at night. It was 2 hours. And there was no like opening band for him. None of that shit. We waited. It was like 9 o'clock. He came on. Boom. He went on and on for 2 hours. Right? So how can you sit there and say that he can't complete a one sentence? That's absurd. I don't know if the guy's still here. I'm not going to listen to him. I pay 30% of income as taxes. I don't get any health care, neither free education. All of them exist, but the quality is so bad that they are mostly non-functional. Well, Verma, the reason being is because the government is funding USAID. What's more important to this government right now, that Donald Trump is trying to solve it, with the prior presidents was USAID. Where was Joe Biden cutting USAID? Where was Vice President Harris even mentioning USAID? Or George W. Bush or Bill Clinton? Nobody. Where was any governor mentioning USAID? No one. So just think, USAID was funding in the trillions of dollars to foreign companies, to foreigners, to people in America. So how is the government going to afford to give you free health care, free college, free anything? Because they're funding USAID. Why do you think they pulled out of Afghanistan? To fund the Ukraine war. You think they were going to fund Afghanistan and Ukraine? No. That's why they pulled out of Afghanistan and went right into Ukraine, funding Ukraine. I mean, you don't see that? You don't really see that that's what happened? They took all the money out of Afghanistan, and then pulling out, they promised them that they were going to continue to send them money. And then Donald Trump stopped the payments to Afghanistan. So the administration that pulled out of Afghanistan, don't worry, we're going to pull out, but we're going to continue to send you billions of dollars for nothing. We're going to continue to give you free money. That's U.S. aid. You understand? So Donald Trump ended that. Like, why are we giving, there is not even, an Afghan government doesn't even exist. There's no elections there. It's tribes. That's what the Taliban is. It's a tribal community, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's how those people want to live, fine. But, like, who are you sending the money to? A pseudo government, right? When George Bush got into office and they went into Afghanistan, they set up a government, and the president of the government was an Afghan American citizen professor that lived and worked in Long Island, New York. Did you know that? And he was the president for years and years. Until he finally was like, fuck this, I ain't living here anymore. I'm out of here. I'm going back to New York. And he quit. Like after 8 years, he quit. Or maybe even 10. I don't know what it was, but MAGA stroke hitting hard here, right? Let's see. TK, what's up? Beach Bin Blaze. Yeah, but the point is, Blaze, is that the money that we're paying in taxes is going towards corruption, right? USAID. USAID is when they were talking about bills with 1,500, 2,000 pages, that's all USAID. That's what that is. That's why they would have these huge spending bills, because they were funding all the US aid. So in my opinion, like, I don't know why Donald Trump doesn't just cut it all. Just go in there and say, fuck it, we're going to just stop paying all of them. Let the judges cry all they want. There's nothing a judge can do. If the government wants to stop paying US aid, there's no contracts with these people. You have to renew the USA contract. A lot of those contracts have never been renewed. So the judge has nothing to stand on. They're just paying it. Pay. That's why the guy from USA quit. Because he was probably getting some money too from plus his pay. WC. USAID is less than, no, it's not. They were borrowing $1 trillion a day. $1 trillion a day. I mean, every 100 days, right? And they were funding USAID. It was in the billions and billions of dollars. It was a huge part of the spending bill. There was people getting $30 million, like hundreds and hundreds of millions of. Are you kidding me? And it's been going on for years and years and years. The government has spent trillions of dollars on USAID. It just doesn't just started happening. This shit's been going on since 1948. Why do you think a lot of these people that you say to them, how the fuck did they get rich? Like George Soros. Like, how did George Soros get rich? Where'd they get all this money? Oh, he's a billionaire. From what? Let me see. What businesses does George Soros have? What businesses does George Soros have? George Soros primarily known for his investment management, Soros Fund Management, which he founded in 1970 and his philanthropic work through the Open Society Foundation. The fuck is that? He got money through USA. That's how he got rich. Yeah, through getting money from the federal government by making all this USA thing. Hedge fund, formerly a hedge fund. It is now structured as a family office. He never had any businesses. Managed the Quantum Fund, which generated an average annual return of 30%. Currently manages around 25. This is probably all USAID money. So George Soros never owned a business, right? Oh, hold on, guys. I'm trying to get out of the sun. It's like right in my eyes. So George Soros never owned a business, right? But yet through these funds, he's worth all this billions because it's all through USA. Where do you think he gets all his money from? His son's probably getting them, probably from the Social Security fraud, all the fraud. That's where these guys got all their money. If you never owned a business like Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the guy from Amazon and a lot of other rich people that own businesses, then you fucking stole all that money. I'm sorry. Unless it's old money that you were left from your family. John Mulligan. What's utter nonsense? John is I'm a liar about what? That's just my opinion. I'm not lying about anything. What am I lying about? So you tell me George Soros never owned a business. I just read it to you. Here, formerly a hedge fund. It's a pyramid scheme. What do you think a hedge fund is? It's money that comes in from, guarantee you. And the reason why they haven't exposed who's collecting all this USA is because they're protecting people. George Soros never owned a business. What workers you think he had? He probably had people working for him for free. Pete, Pale JJ, hello, how are you? Good morning. Practice what I preach? I don't know. I never collected free money from the government. What are you talking about? You're making shit up. Why are you protecting George Soros? You're going against me, yet you want to tax billionaires? Who's a Democrat here that they want to tax the rich, tax billionaires? George Soros is one of them. Now you're going against me. Like now you're a champion for George Soros. Oh, wow. Make up your fucking mind. Either you want to tax the rich and make them pay their fair share, or you want to go against me and now you're an ally of billionaires. Lucky take. You don't know who, dude. I was talking about Dems preaching democracy while funding political. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. I don't know, but it was just a blank. That's the way you have to think, black and white. I mean, the government is going against a man, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, who have businesses, who made money through business, failures, successes. That's how business is. People open businesses and fail, and then open new businesses and try again and try again. I'm from the land down under. Just scrolling through, I gave no idea who this George Soros. Look him up. He's a dual citizen American, if you want to call him that, right? I don't know how many citizenships he's got. Oh, let me close the shade. Yeah, he's a George Soros, is a man who, in my opinion, he's a fucking crook. He's a crook. Oh, he was in hedge fund and he made money through stealing money from the United States government. It's easy. Through USAID, through Social Security fraud, Medicaid fraud, and who knows what else. It's easy to rip off the government. You just need a politician that's willing to put your USAID bill forward, get it approved, and then the government funds it. That's how it works. You need a politician to bring it to the floor. Where does it say he got money from USAID? My point is that I looked it up. Like, he never owned the business and he's worth all these billions and billions of dollars. So, how does one make money from a hedge fund? Billions and billions. They get money from so I'm just assuming that, he's loved by the Democrats. Hillary Clinton is up his ass. You know what I'm saying? They're all up his ass. So if you have friends like that, NGO, right? Right, that's the point. NGOs. So if you have all these friends in the Democrat circle, then they'll easily fund an NGO for you. No problem. You have to go to a let's see. How do you get an NGO funded? To secure funding for an NGO, you can preserve a variety of strategies, including crafting compelling grant proposals, seeking donations from individuals and foundations, and building partnerships with corporation and government agencies. So if you want money from the government, you need someone in the government to bring it to the floor to say, we're going to fund this. That's how it works. So what Marco Rubio said, he said that we should eliminate NGOs, and if you need money, you should go seek money only from from the private sector. You can't come to the government seeking NGOs. I mean, how are you? I mean, they fund the stupidest things, and to me, that's the joke. Oh, we're gonna fund condoms worth $50 million. $50 million in condoms. Hey, you come from Thailand? Welcome to the United States, my friend. Google what the hedge fund is, you donut. Yeah, hedge fund. Okay. It's a pyramid scheme. How many people you think invest in these hedge funds and all these people with like thousands of hedge funds? Give me a fucking break. Come on. Where's all this money come from? Hedge fund. Oh, he's got a hedge fund. Oh, he's making money. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's got a hedge fund. Everybody's investing in George Soros' hedge fund. Yeah, here, George, here's $10 million. Oh, here's $1 billion. Oh, here's 500 million. Oh, here's this million. Here's these millions. Here, take it all. What are you kidding? The guy's not a freak. He has a right to say whatever he wants. This is a free country. This is a First Amendment chat. As long as you keep it civil, you could say whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? So if the guy wants to say free Palestine, as long as he's not spamming, I'm good. He's okay. Once he starts spamming, I'm going to, time him out. But you could say free Palestine. You could say free America, free Chile, free Mexico. Who gives a shit? What's wrong with saying free Palestine? Yeah, all right. You know how many hedge funds there are? Let me see. How many hedge funds are there in the United States? As of 2023, there were 3,872 hedge fund businesses in the United States, a 4.6 increase from 2022. So it's pretty lucrative to start a hedge fund. Number of businesses. IBIS World Data indicates 3,872 hedge fund businesses in the U.S. Growth 4% increase. Industry growth. There's probably more than that. So like everybody's going to George Soros. Oh, Georgie, you're the best. You're going to become a billionaire with hedge funds. So he must be stealing all the fucking money people invested into the hedge fund. The stock market can only make so much money. So where's all this money coming from? Look how they devaluated Tesla. Now they have, what are they basing all this hedge fund money on? If fucking stocks are not even high. You know what, Bitcoin? What's the most expensive stock out there? What, 300, 250? That's nothing. There's no stocks out there that are worth, let me see. What's the most expensive stock on the stock market? Oh my gosh. The most expensive stock in the market by share price, Berkshire Hathaway's Class A shares trading at over $625,000 a share. Oh my gosh. Berkshire Hathaway, a diversified holding company led by Warren Buffett, is known, but that's Warren Buffett. That's not George Soros. But you still, because of that, doesn't mean that Soros can like say, hey, I'm going to give you all this return on your money, and he's making all this money for people. I don't think so. I just don't think that anybody's that smart or anybody's that trustworthy that they're going to pump all this money into George Soros' hedge fund. High price reflects the company's strong financial performance, Buffett's reputation as a successful investor, and the company's unique structure and investment portfolio. The top 5 priced high stocks in America. NVR stock price 5,200, market capitalization 16 billion. I mean, but Seaboard 3,900. AutoZone, wow, AutoZone 2,400 a share. Booking Holdings. And I can guarantee you, like all these companies, they're not even worth that much. Because look what they did to Elon Musk, right? At one time, he was like, Elon Musk, wow. Like they would put pillows on the ground that he walked, right? Guys would throw pillows down. Now they don't like him. His stocks are worth like $38 a share. So in reality, the stock market is bullshit. It's all inflated. What fucking stock can be worth $6,900 that no one can afford? Who's going to buy that? How can you take, let's say I go to George Soros and I say, George, here's $100,000. That's nothing for a stock that's $6,900 a share. You understand? How are you going to turn that around? That's peanuts. How much is the stock Tesla worth? All right, so it's 248. My mistake. So I thought it was 48, but it's 248. So it went up 12.45. I thought it was down. What was the lowest Tesla stock has been? What was the lowest price of Tesla stock? All right, I thought I must have not heard that it was 248. I heard it was like in the 40s, so I didn't hear the 200 part. But wasn't it like 600 a share? And then it like dropped, but now it went back up. I see here $12. So now's the time to buy. You guys got 200. Go to George Soros, give him all your money, and go in his hedge fund, and hopefully he'll make money for you. Nvidia is down. Apple Inc. is up 1.95%. Hyundai Motors is down 0.39%. Amazon is up. Dow Jones Industry is up by 0.076. Don't buy Tesla. It won't be worth shit. No, it's still worth 204. Tesla's, I always said that the Tesla stock is inflated because it's worth more than Toyota. I mean, Toyota makes way more cars than they do. And they make cars, trucks all over the world. Like they have diesels and all kinds of shit, work trucks. So does General Motors. And General Motors, what is General Motors worth stock? $49. How much is Toyota stock worth? $19. What? What is Toyota stock worth? Oh my, $19 a share. What happened? What is Ford stock worth? $10 a share. I own Ford. $10 a share. What is Nissan stock worth? $5.64. What is Honda stock worth? $30. So, I mean, what is Mercedes-Benz stock worth? $15, Mercedes-Benz. What is BMW stock worth? $28. Wow, I can't believe BMW is worth more than 20. What is Volkswagen stock worth? $11. So how the fuck? What is Fiat stock worth? Oh, they're not on the stock market? Oh, what are they called? What is Fiat's new name? Stellantis. What is Stellantis stock worth? $12. Bro, Fiat, Volkswagen are one of the largest automakers in the world. In the world. And they're worth pennies versus Tesla's worth 240. It's inflated. A lot of these stocks are all bullshit because they just, anybody can who's putting a value on these stocks? Like, how is Tesla worth so much money? How much money is Tesla making compared to Toyota and Volkswagen and all these companies? General Motors. I'm surprised General Motors is worth $56. What is Toyota Car Company worth? $19 a share. But it says here 299 billion market capitalization. What is Volvo stock worth? $30 a share, Volvo. Holy shit. Wow. I mean, Volvo. Wow, they must be selling a lot of cars. Who else is there? Volvo? Who did I miss? We got Nissan in there. We got Stellantis. We got Ford. Ford is $10. Nissan is the cheapest, $4 a share. Oh my gosh. Now, is it worth buying Nissan? You think there'll be a comeback? No, well, Buick. All right, let's see. What is GM stock worth? $49 a share. I think that's included the whole brand, no? That's more than a lot of the other car manufacturers because they sell a lot of trucks. They sell a lot of cars. Wow. I don't know. What is Lexus stock worth? Well, that's Lexus Granito. That's not Lexus car manufacturer. That's $30, $33 a share. So like if you really think about it, I mean, all this stock is all bullshit. I mean, if you compare it to Tesla, you got a company like Tesla, they sell one brand, right? They're not worldwide like Toyota. Toyota sells in Africa, Australia, all over the world. I don't think Tesla reaches that far out, that they're selling like millions of cars. You know what I mean? They have Toyota has plants all over the world. Right, so that's why when you're watching the news, the stock market is down, you should be like, who gives a fuck? If you're not in the stock market and you're not investing in these stock products, then the stock market does not affect you. That's just people who are now losing money in the stock market, and that's their fucking problem. The stock market has nothing to do with the federal government. It's private investors investing and trying to make money with their investments. They're buying stocks hoping that they could turn a profit. That's all it is. That's all it is. But the difference is we're an NGO, right? The government is funding these businesses versus a company like Toyota. I don't know, maybe they have an NGO. A company like Toyota is depending on investors to invest money so they have money to grow, right? Where you can go to the government, get an NGO, and just sit there and do fucking really nothing, because a lot of these NGOs don't even have to report. It's like not welfare. Yeah, even welfare. They give you the money. They don't tell you, what did you buy? What are you doing with the money? They don't care. Like, you pay child support, they don't ask the parent receiving the child support, what are you doing with the money? What did you do with that money? What are you spending the money on? They don't ask them. They could be doing whatever the hell they want with it. But the person who's paying it, if they don't pay it, they go to jail. But the person who's receiving it can do whatever the fuck they want with the money. Right? You can't go, if you're the payee, and say, hey, I want to know what they do with that money. No, you don't. It's none of your fucking business. That's what they tell you. So the NGO is like someone collecting child support. They get the money and there's no government oversight. And that's a crime. That there's no one in the government investigating if the money's even being spent for what it was intended for. Where is this money going? There's no oversight. And then people are here like fighting for NGOs. Like, are you fucking stupid? Or saying, oh, Social Security is being closed down and blah, blah. Like, are you, what's wrong with you? Medicaid, there's Medicaid fraud. So you want fraud to continue? Oh, they're going to cut funding for child cancer care. I'm talking about NGOs, not people, not companies trading on the stock market, Max. Gucci is getting expensive. So is Louis Vuitton. Man, I went to Louis Vuitton. They had a pair of shoes, leather shoes, and the sizing is absolutely absurd. Like, a size 11 is like a size 13. Like, who the fuck sized this? So for me to get a size 11, I got to get like a size 10 and 3/4. It's so stupid, right? You have to like try on like 10 different pairs of shoes before you find your size, and the people in the store don't even know what it is. Like they can't, like if you tell them size 11, they won't get you the size that's a real size 11, which is like 2 sizes lower. Like who the fuck at Louis Vuitton, like what feet are they using? Like what kind of a scale are they using? So they must have the same problem in Europe because they're not sized correctly. So like let's say you want to buy a pair of Louis Vuittons on eBay, you got to be careful because if you select size 11 or whatever size figure, you're going to get a bigger shoe. Now, can you return it? You could say it doesn't fit. It's the wrong size, which is true. It's not a true 11. So you can basically fuck the guy on eBay, and eBay will force them to pay the return shipping and ship it back to them. USA can fail. USA can fail. Eventually, it'll just run out of the ability to print money because that's what US aid is doing. It's the ability to print money, and these people are just getting this. It's all tax-free. These NGOs are all tax-free. No one's even paying taxes on it. It's all tax-free money. America. It's fiat money. Well, eventually when the government is in debt at $40 trillion, that's not the only budget. There's more budgets that are in the trillions of dollars, close to the 40 trillion. Eventually the government just can't print money anymore, and it will collapse. That's a very stupid thing to say. I'm not even going to mention your name. I'm going to actually get rid of this idiot. Stupid. I mean, like, what kind of a mentality do you have to come in there and say the most stupidest thing? You know, I'm not even going to repeat it. I don't know whoever saw it. Like, that is the most dumbest thing you could possibly say. Well, you know, hopefully Donald Trump, I mean, you get a guy like the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, he wants to eliminate property taxes for the state of Florida. And how is he going to do that? He's going to base the state's income on goods and services, just like New Jersey. They're going to tax storage units by 7%. They should do the same thing with rents. If you're paying rent to a landlord, the landlord is providing you a service. Why shouldn't tenants pay taxes on the rent they pay? You're paying for a service. When you go rent a hotel room, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're a what do you call it? You're a tenant at that point. And when you go, that's very strong. Can't even drink it. You put all right. Is that Starbucks?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like drinking mud. So why shouldn't landlords charge like people who are renting apartments and stores or office buildings collect taxes on those properties? I mean, why are you forcing the public to pay property taxes and income taxes when the government should be based on taxing goods and services, tax imports? They shouldn't tax people. I shouldn't be taxed. They should only tax what I buy. So even, let's say, for instance, like the state of New York, they have an 8 points, make the sales tax 12%. Make it 12%. Car care, God bless America, yes. America, why in a few months? What, because of Donald Trump? cutting wasteful fraud spending. I mean, don't you think cutting the Board of Education is a good thing? Like the Board of Education is getting $275 billion a year, and America has the lowest educational numbers in the world. One of the lowest. We're not even in the top 10 of education. Did America ever thank Britain for populating it? America? What America are you talking about? What are you doing up so early? Christian, what's up, buddy? It's only 8:29. I'm going to be on here a little while, then I'm going to head. I got a few things I want to do. I got to head down the shore. Department of Education is to protect students and provide oversight for $275 billion a year. WC? 207, you know what that is? That's $78 million a day. Yeah. What is 275 billion divided by 365? That's 753,424,657 a day. Yeah. So the Board of Education was getting $753 million, $500 million a day. To oversight what? What the fuck are you oversighting? For $753 million a day. Divided by 50. So that means they can give, out of the $753 million a day, they can give each state $15 million a day for education. So they can go to every single state in the country and give every state $15 million a day. That would probably solve their educational budget. Let me see. How much does the state of New York spend each year on education? $89 billion. So the state of New York spends $89 billion school year and $35,000 per pupil. These kids go to these schools in New York. They can't even graduate high school. They don't even know how to fucking read and write. Yet they're spending $35,000 per pupil. That includes bus service in New York City. This is how much does the state of New York spend on school bus service? So the state of New York spends $2.93 billion a year in school bus service. So out of the $89 billion that they spend on schools, $3 billion of it goes to fund buses. Isn't that absurd? Imagine like the state taxes people to fund a private bus company. That's fucked up. And New York City gets the majority of that. Just like the European Union has 44 sovereign states, America has 50 with unique laws and cultures. Yeah, but we all speak the same language. The European Union is not the same thing like the United States. It's not the same. They don't vote for the European Union, whoever's in charge of that. They get selected. You know what I mean? Like they appoint themselves. They're self-appointed bureaucrats. You can't compare the European Union to the United States. The United States is a democracy, is a republic with Democrat with democratic values. So we vote for the people that we want to represent us. The European Union doesn't have that. They don't vote for the bureaucrats in the European Union. They only vote for people in their own countries. That's why Great Britain. That's why that's why the UK got out of the European Union, and other countries that didn't want to join. I don't see how that the European Union is still even viable. They should go back to every country being its own country. Like, why do they need the European Union? Why do we need the United Nations? They don't fucking do anything. Did they stop the war in Ukraine? No. Did they stop the Vietnam War? Did they stop the war in Iraq and Afghanistan? They don't fucking do anything. What is the point of all these countries paying money to the United Nations? There's no point. We're throwing money away to give it to these fucking, what are they doing with, I think, what do we give? Let me see how much we give to the United Nations. How much money does the United States give to the United Nations? Figure 2 shows that the U.S. paid 28%, 13 billion of the 46.4 billion of UN member government funding. Wow. So we gave the United Nations last year $13 billion out of the 46 billion. And then people think Donald Trump is stupid to get out of the United Nations. What does the United Nations do? Nothing. Nothing. That's what aliens do? $13 billion. That's fucking insane, man. That is totally insane. Who gives the most money to the United Nations? The United States. Close to 13. I don't know if that includes the Paris Accord Agreement and the World Health Organization, because they're all intertwined. It's the same. They're like branches of the United Nations. That scam. The Paris Accord Agreement. You know, with Al Gore. Yeah, we got to give money to the Paris Accord Agreement. Yeah. America's polluting. Yeah. Global warming. Yeah. CO2 gas house effects. Yeah. Let's pay $4 billion. Yeah. I voted my cash in my bank account. Elon was appointed by Donald Trump to do a job. Why didn't President Biden do that? Try and seek out fraud in the government, like USA. Why didn't he close? I think they should just shut all USA down. Nobody should receive any federal funding for private organizations. You know, why didn't President Biden try and eliminate Social Security fraud? They've talked about it, but they've never done anything about it. They never, like, even what's his name? Barack Obama spoke about it. They didn't do anything about it. He never shut down USAID. He's probably getting it. How do you think he's worth $200 million? Where the fuck did he make all this money? What is Barack Obama's net worth? 70 million. 70 million. In December 2007, Money Magazine estimated Obama's net worth at 1.3 million, equivalent to 2 million in 2024. Their 2009 tax returns show the household income of 5.5 million. So after he got elected, he made where the fuck did he make 5.5 million? Up from 4.2 million in 2007 and 1.6 million in 2005, mostly from his book sales. Oh yeah. Yeah, he made all that money selling books. I remember going into Barnes and Noble, seeing like Hillary Clinton books for $2. And even Barack Obama, nobody bought them. They had overstock. And how many people you think bought his book? That he made millions. This guy isn't the sharpest tool. I'm not. I agree, Vermont. I'm very dull. Trump, Trump, Trump. Kamala sucks. Book sales left out. I'd love to see the paper trail. Yeah. Now he's worth $70 million. Never owned a business. Never had a fucking job. Barack Obama never worked. Did Barack Obama ever practice law? In 1988, Obama enrolled in Harvard Law School, where he excelled as a student, graduating magna cum laude and winning election as president. In Chicago, Obama worked at various times as community organizer. I wonder if he even went to law school. They could just make this shit up that he went to law school. They make up so much stuff. Lecturer and senior lecturer of constitutional law at the University of Chicago Law School. He never even had a fucking job. Barack Obama never even worked because he was Barack Obama's claim to fame was through Henry Kissinger. You know, with this whole Barry Soetoro thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they say. So he never even had a job. He never owned a business. Now he's worth $80 million. And I bet you a lot of these NGOs that were cut off were going to him. And he got cut off, but he's just going to keep his mouth shut, which he's smart. And I guarantee you, George W. Bush is probably collecting NGOs. And that's why he hates fucking Donald Trump. Because that's why they hate him, because they knew he was going to go in and defund all these fucked up, fraudulent money the government is paying out that's taxing the American people. He's a very popular figure. He was a community organizer. What did he do? Organize basketball teams, and that made him. He's a fucking good speaker. He's an actor. Barack Obama. That's what he is. He's a fucking actor. That's all he is. I guarantee he probably doesn't have a college degree. He never practiced law. Did Michelle Obama ever practice law? Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama is a lawyer, writer, and the wife of the 44th. Doesn't say anything about her practicing law. Doesn't say, well, she worked for this company, she worked for that company. Let's see Wikipedia. Yeah. Raised on the south side of Chicago, Obama graduated Princeton. Well, she came to Jersey to go to school. Nothing about where she worked. Never worked as a fucking lawyer. Career. Following school, Obama became an associate at Chicago office of the law firm Sidley in Austin, where she met her future husband Brock at the firm. She worked on marketing and intellectual property. She continued to hold law license, but she also no longer needs it for work. She kept it on a voluntary inactive status. It barely even worked. So how did they make all this money? All this money just dropped into their lap because of books. Come on. She served as associate dean of students. So what does that pay? Let's see. What is Michelle Obama's net worth? Obama Foundation. What is the net worth? So Jared has, what is the net worth of the Obama Foundation? Jared has been CEO of the foundation since 2021. The foundation raised $232 million in 2017 and $164 million in 2018. Wow. That's how fucking stupid people are. All contributions and in-kind gifts total $311 million. It has net assets of $925 million and has raised $1.1 billion. The Obama Fund. Where are they getting all this money from? It's just fucking amazing. Maybe people donated all that money. $1 billion. Donated all that money to the Obama Foundation. Wow. See, when you dig deep, this guy went from nothing to being worth $1 billion as president of the United States, just because he was president. Do you think that's reality? Who's coming for my Social Security? Car care, I do play lotto. For 4 years. How much did Barack Obama make as a senator? I think at the time when he was senator, he was probably making like $134,000 a year for 4 years. Jesse Miller, who's full of crap? I don't know, maybe I read that wrong, that Barack Obama's foundation is worth $1.1 billion. And it says from donations. Has anybody here donated to the Barack Obama Foundation? Any Barack Obama fan, supporter? Have you donated to his foundation? Just say yes or no. So no Democrat here donated to the Barack Obama Foundation. That's 211. All right. I mean, it could. What I'm eating mango. Mango. I love mango. So we got one guy, 301k, he donated. How much did you donate? I donated $2.99. Yes, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it. That was good. Fucking mango's delicious, man. Anything they make with mango is good. Mango ice cream, Mango this and mango that, mango, mango, mango. It is so delicious. What a like flavor, sweetness. It's so in the texture. It's amazing. The only bad thing about it is the way you gotta peel it off that fucking pig. Or else it's so good. No, no, oh, what do you mean? Eggs? What's this? What is this? Chicken? What is this?
Tree.
Oh, no, don't make, yeah, you gotta freeze it. Make four. I get some water. Fiscal, good. You should keep donating $2,000. $2,000 of what? What do you mean? $2,000 US? Okay, good for you. I didn't donate any. I don't never donate to any of these fucking people. Even you think I donated? Well, I think I did give $50 to Trump. I donated $50. Stingray leaving your show? What show? Are you calling me a clown? Is it? You think this is a clown show? Robert is full of poop. Johnny, I donated $2,000 to the Barack Fund. Okay, we got it. Second Amendment. I'll donate $2,000 when Harris is president in 3 years. Oh, you want Harris? You want your taxes raised? You better save that fucking $2,000. What's wrong with a Trump Bible? You know how many Bibles are out there? Why can't Donald Trump print the Bible? Somebody explain to me what was so bad about Donald Trump's Bible. Like all you like, tell me. Jesus and MAGA. Jesus who? Jesus is a common name. You have to say Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Now you're talking about God. When you mention just the word Jesus, that's meaningless. Or Christ Jesus. Then we're talking about the Christ, the Savior, right? If you just say, my friend, he passed away, Jesus Rivera. His name was Jesus. You could be talking about any Jesus. Jesus, right? Jesus. You know how how they use the word Jesus in like Italy? They call him Salvatore, Savior. Salvatore, Savior. Or you just simply name your children Christian. That means Jesus, Christian. When you say the word Christ, Christian means Christ. Mangas suck. Suck what? What do we suck at? Come on, tell me. Suck at what? Oh, here we go. WRT Trump Bible. Do you believe people should be able to profit? He's selling a Bible. He's allowed to sell a Bible. What's wrong with selling a Bible? How do you know how much? Let me see. Did Donald Trump sell the Trump Bible? Trump is selling God Bless the USA Bibles for $59.99. So don't buy it. What is the most expensive Bible for sale today? Hebrew Bible sold at staggering $381 million. How much is the most expensive Bible you can buy at the retail store? There's people selling Bibles out there for big money. Big money. So instead of just directly giving $60 to Donald Trump, you buy a Bible. You got something in return. So when you donated to Vice President Harris' campaign, what did you get in return? Huh? At least you're getting a Bible. So you're donating to the campaign. And for your donation, you're getting a Bible. What's wrong with that? So, WC, you think Vice President Harris has integrity? So you think that spending $2.5 billion in less than 6 months is integrity? And losing the campaign? How is that even possible? That's probably what is the most money ever spent on a presidential campaign? So don't forget, whatever Donald Trump spent, he was campaigning for 4 years. Yeah. 4 years. Right? After he lost the 2000 election, he was campaigning right away. He was having rallies. He was on the media. He was campaigning constantly. Where the Democrats didn't even have a primary. So the Democrats spent $2.5 billion in like 5 fucking months. Not even 4 years. So you can't say that Donald Trump spent as much as she did because he campaigned for 4 years. She campaigned for 5 months. It's a big difference. It's not a fair comparison. This has TDS, Trump derangements. No, Democrats have that, not Republicans or MAGAs. The Democrats has Trump derangement syndrome. They just hate Donald Trump. That's what that means. Go find my family. They're hiding from me? Probably. Why not? Why? They probably, yeah, I agree with you. They are hiding from me. You miss Joe? Joe Lieberman? Remember that guy? Oh my gosh. That's why Al Gore lost the election. Because the Democrats forced Joe Lieberman on Al Gore, and Joe Lieberman fucked them. Fucked them. He was all friendly with, what's his name? Dick Cheney. He was, oh, my friend. So he actually helped them win. He never once said anything bad about Dick Cheney or George Bush. He said he wants to run for president in 4 years. That's how much he hates Harris. McCain. What do you mean McCain? What does that even mean? Would you defend Elon Musk? What would I really don't care about Elon Musk. All I know about Elon Musk right now that, one, he's saying that he's going to eliminate government's fraudulent spending in terms of USAID. And he owns businesses like PayPal and Tesla and SpaceX and shit. That's all I know. I mean, I don't know him personally. So if he fucks up and he doesn't do anything, then he's just a regular, guy looking for fame. Psycho Trump. Forcible suppression of a position is one. What do you mean, Destro? What does that even mean? Al Gore lost by a check. Yeah, he lost by 3 electoral votes because Joe Lieberman didn't really campaign for him. He didn't want to be unliked. Where I think when what's his name? John Kerry ran, and he had that other guy. He went after Dick Cheney. He wanted to be the vice president, man. He was like, fuck you, Dick Cheney. Let me see. Who was the vice president nominee for John Kerry? John Edwards. Man, he went after. He wasn't like a Joe Lieberman, a sellout. Joe, you can't trust people like Joe Lieberman. They'll stab you in the back, and not think twice about it. Now, if Al Gore was like Joe Lieberman, right? Joe Lieberman would have worked harder to get him elected. That's all I'm saying. Joe Lieberman was in there to help the Republicans. I'm telling you. Where John Edwards, and then after that, they fucked this guy big time. They almost put him in jail. Because he was really going after Dick Cheney. He didn't like that. So Dick Cheney, being the vice president, went after him for saying saying the truth about him. President Trump, what he says about Liz Cheney, which is true. True, but Dick Cheney is, let me see how old he is now. How old is Dick Cheney? 84. He probably doesn't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? He's 84. They show a picture of him when he was the vice president. What does he look like now? Yeah, he looks like an old piece of shit. This guy is one of the biggest lowlifes that ever fucking lived in this country. He fucked this country up so bad that it's not even funny. It's not even a joke. I mean, guys like that, right? Because the reason why they act like that is because of the US aid. I'm telling you. It all stems to USA. Because they all know that, wow, these people, they all know that USAID exists, and they know that America is being ripped off. So then everyone's trying to rip off the country. That's the detriment of USAID and Social Security fraud and Medicaid fraud. Everybody's ripping off the government. So then what happens is that people like Dick Cheney say, fuck it, I'm going to rip off the government too. If everybody else is doing it, why should I do it? No one has loyalty to America, so why should I have any loyalty to America? You just need a guy like Dick Cheney and George Bush and Barack Obama and Joe Biden to just hand out all the fucking money. Just don't say anything about USA until Donald Trump comes along. And then you do everything in your power to try and keep him out of office by trying to put him in jail, mocking him, trying to destroy his businesses, all kinds of shit, right? I mean, who else has gone through that? But who was the only president to come out and literally expose Social Security fraud and do something about it? Or USA to literally shut it down. Or Medicaid fraud. Wasn't George W. Bush? No, he went to war. Right? He went to war. It wasn't Joe Biden, he funded a war. No, it wasn't Barack Obama. It wasn't Bill Clinton. It wasn't Ronald Reagan. It wasn't, what's his name? Jimmy Carter. Nope, none of them. Oh, Ronald Reagan, the greatest president that ever lived. Where the fuck were you, Ronald Reagan? Why were you allowing USA? Because Ronald Reagan had no power. Donald Trump has power. Donald Trump is the only president that has power. You know what kind of power that is? To go in and tell Liz Cheney to go fuck herself and take away security clearances on President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Hillary Clinton. Nobody would have the balls to do that. Nobody, because they want to be in their favor. Donald Trump's like, fuck you. I don't need you. I don't need to kiss your ass. Understand that? That's like a major, slap in the face. They tell him, don't fuck with me, right? You know, they did it to him. Joe Biden took away Donald Trump's security clearance. Why? Because they were afraid of losing USAID. You know, hopefully they shut it down completely and eliminate any funding to any private organization through the government. The government money is not to fund private organizations. It's just not. The money that people pay taxes is for the people. It's not to fund some guy's fucking ideas, some guy's art studio, some guy's, we need to give condoms to these people. Let's give me $50 million. No. That's not what the government's job is. If there's a problem in a certain country or continent, that country is to take care of it. If they're not buying condoms that own country, then they don't need condoms. Blue Dream, what am I delusional about? Condoms are good. Second, condoms are good for water jug. There must be some big ass fucking condoms. All right, let's just say they wanted to give condoms to the continent of Africa. First of all, Africa is made up of 48 countries? and there's 1 point. How are you going to distribute them? And African men are like they all want to be alpha males. They're not. Africa is not like the United States. All the men are like beta males. You go to Africa, those guys will kick your fucking ass. They're all like, yo, macho. They're not like American men that are all beta males. I'm gonna wear ankle high pants. I'm gonna wear shoes with no socks. I'm gonna wear tight t-shirts. No. They're never gonna use condoms. Or India, or Pakistan. They don't even know what the fuck it is. They have a population explosion. India, Pakistan, Africa. The only places that there's low birth rates are where all these woke assholes are. In America, in Europe, that's where it is. Wherever there's wokeness, there's a decrease in population. Wherever there's lunatic liberals, there's a decrease in population. Because they fucking make people crazy and depressed. When people are happy, they have children. I'm telling you. When people feel secure in their future, they'll have more kids. When people have a less of a security feeling in the future, because people don't want to bring kids into a world where they're going to suffer. Right? Vasectomies are the key. For who? Trump is doing what he said he would do. Yeah, exactly, voices. No, it doesn't. USAID is... Oh, let me see. USAID funds NGOs, non-governmental organizations. It doesn't fund infrastructure. That's completely... That's with the Department of Transportation. That's a totally different organization. Now, we need the Department of Transportation, I think, or I would say we don't even need the federal Department of... I don't know why we even have that. Why do we have a guy like Buttigieg running? Like, what do you do in the Department of Transportation? The federal government, what highways do they have? Why don't they just pay the state to maintain their highways? Like, what's the fuck? Why do we need Buttigieg? I mean, if the government wants to build a railroad, let's see how much the Department of Transportation's budget is. What is the U.S. Department of Transportation budget? Wow. The U.S. Department of Transportation budget fiscal year 2024 was $117 billion, representing 1.7% of all federal spending. What does the Department of Transportation do? The U.S. Department of Transportation is a federal agency responsible for overseeing national transportation systems and infrastructure, ensuring safety and efficiency, and administering funding for transportation projects, including highways, railroads, air travel, and maritime transport. What? Why? I don't know, man. It's a lot of fucking money. Like maritime. Maritime is all privately owned businesses. What does the government have to do with maritime? So maritime is what? Cruise ships and container ships, right? Commerce. The United States of America barely has any container ships that are literally American companies. All the shipping companies are from other countries. How many U.S. container shipping companies are there? While it's difficult to pinpoint an exact number, there are numerous U.S.-based companies involved in container ship. There are none.
So what they have is they have freight forwarders in America. Like anybody could become a freight forwarder. Yeah. So basically, like you come to me and you listen. I want to ship my furniture, or I want to ship a car overseas, or I want to ship all these whatever. So I'm the freight forwarder. So I go figure out the cheapest and best way and fastest way for you to ship your stuff. That's what. But the United States barely owns any shipping companies. The biggest shipping companies in the world are Maersk, Evergreen, Hanjin, Costco. They're all foreign companies. At one time, the U.S. Merchant Marines, right, were big, and then they got all bought out. I think the only like Merchant Marines we have now are like they go to Puerto Rico. That's it. The Puerto Rican line, or maybe Hawaii. Maybe, but it's very, 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 very small. Maybe like I'm not sure if the one company that goes to Bermuda, the Bermuda line, is owned by an American. But there's only one little tiny ship. But if you go to any port and wait and look at the ships that are coming into port, they're all foreign ships. Asian, Scandinavian. Then there's the MSC. There's the Zim line. There's the Hanjin. They're all foreign. There's no American shipping anymore. So, I mean, like, why can't the states do this? Like, how is the federal government involved in container shipping? We don't have any fucking big major shipping companies. They're all the shipping companies are foreign. Then there's companies that just own containers and they piggyback on all the other ships. Like One. I think there's one. It's called One, but it's Asian too. So they have they have their big freight forwarders, right? So they have their own containers. So maybe they give better rates, and that's how they ship. Yeah, but think that's not importing. Has nothing to do with container shipping. You understand? Container shipping is companies that are not American, like the Maersk line. That's not American. MSC, Zim, the United Arab Shipping Co. That's not American. Evergreen, Hanjin, Costco. I mean, there's so many. Then there's all the ones that go to California. I'm just naming the ones that I see here in the Bay. If you live near the coast, go down there and look at the ships coming in. You will not see any American company. They'll fly the American flag because they have to, right? Fly the American flag. So like if they go to another country, they got to raise their flag. That means like they're friendly. But there's no American shipping ships. There's no ships that are owned by Americans. There's no. They're all foreign owned. We don't own any ships. The only export ships we have are in the Navy. That can transport tanks and shit like that. That's what we have. We used to have a big American container shipping. Not anymore. It's over. They got all bought out by foreign companies. Flat out lie? Okay, so name what American shipping company is there that owns ships, not freight forwarders, guys that literally own ships like the Evergreen, the Maersk line, the Costco, the MSC, all these big fucking shipping companies. Name one that's American. No, FedEx doesn't own container ships. No. They're lucky. They own planes. Let me see. Does FedEx own container ships? No. FedEx does not own container ships. They may have FedEx containers, which I doubt. They probably freight forward all their mail through freight forwarders. They don't have FedEx containers. You know how much that would cost to register? You know, a lot of these containers that come from overseas, when they get stripped out, they don't even send them back. It's part of the cost of the total shipping. They buy these fucking containers and they come here and they just leave them here. Nobody wants. Then they try and sell them for like $2,000, $1,500, $800. If you go to a place selling containers that's desperate to get rid of containers, you can get them for free. If you can pick them up, people give containers away because there's millions of them. That's why they try to recycle them by building container homes and use them as storage. Well, yes, I agree. I agree. But FedEx does not own ships. They don't even own containers. They use freight forwarders. That's a service. So like if I'm making a product in the United States and I'm selling it to someone overseas and they say, well, can you help us out with shipping? Can you get the freight? Okay, we'll help you out. So now I'm going to look for a freight forwarder to help me get the cargo because I would have to hire a trucking company to come in, bring a container to my dock or my warehouse, wherever the fuck my shit is. I gotta load it. The driver doesn't load it. The company has to load it. You load the container, close the door, and then you put a seal on it. And then the truck driver takes the box to the port. That's how it works. And the freight forwarder sets all that up. The driver, the container, then they handle the customs of the process. You know, because now it's got to come in the port and they need all this paperwork through customs. And then it's got to go in and, you know, it's a big process. And FedEx probably has their own freight forwarders, you know, working for FedEx. And if they got to ship shit overseas, they go out and look what container is being loaded or are there any containers that have space in them. So when you call a freight forwarder, they'll be like, yeah, we have a container that we got 20% room in let's say like a 40-footer. We only filled up 80% of the 40-footer. We got 20. Okay, we'll take that 20%. How much do you want for the 20% that's going to Stockholm, Germany? Okay, it's this much. So now FedEx got to get their truck loaded, bring it to wherever this fucking container is, unload the FedEx truck, and pack it into the container that's going to Stockholm. And that's what a freight forwarder does. And they know like who's got containers and if it's a 20-footer, a 40-footer, 45-footer. You know, maybe like the one freight forwarder can't fill it. You know, so FedEx comes along and says, look, I'll buy 50% of the container, but I'm only going to give you so much. Right? And the freight forwarder, okay, we'll take it. You know, give us whatever it is. Because they are filling like the other 50%. And a lot of containers go out only 50% full. You know, sometimes they'll ship a container with cars. They can only get 4 cars in the container. You know, 2 in the front, 1 on top of each other. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to put cars in a container. It's very fucking expensive. So the United States Donald Trump should close the Department of Transportation. You know, have like a minimum department, right, that oversees but is funded $113 billion. Let the states do it. The state can go to the federal government and say, listen, you know, this federal highway is fucking falling apart, right? And then, you know, they hire a contractor to fix it. Just like the federal government doesn't fix the roads. They don't send the Army Corps of Engineers to go and fix federal highways. They hire fucking contractors. So why do we need to pay the Federal Transportation Department $113 billion a year to do what? To pay to fix highways? What do they do with that money? Leave it up to the states. Every single federal highway runs through a state. No? So it's just like the Board of Education. How many Board of Educations do we need? Every single school, building, public building, even private, has a Board of Education. The teachers meet and discuss what's going on in the classroom with the principal and the vice principal. That's a Board of Education. That's a board of members in the school figuring out what can we do that's better, that's going to help the students learn better, right? Then it moves up the chain. The state has it. The city has it. So we don't really need a Board of Education, the federal one, to oversight of what the state does, and then the state oversights what the county does, and what the city does, and what the school itself does. When does it fucking end? Then we have a PTA, Parent Teachers Association. That's a Board of Education. That's the same thing. Usually in a PTA, you have a peer that's in charge. That's like the representative of the teacher, of the parents, and then the parents say, "This teacher told me this. My son is failing here. What do we need to do? We need to go to the school and tell them, kick them in the ass." Yeah. So just like there's a lot of organizations of the federal government that could be closed. We don't need it. We're just wasting our fucking money. Like they're taxing the American people to fund the U.S. Transportation Department of $113 billion. So 275 plus 113, that's $388 billion a year for two organizations that could easily be handled by state government. Because my state has a Department of Transportation. You don't think they know that the federal highways are fucked up? And they can easily tell the government and send them pictures and video. Hey, look, there's potholes everywhere. Road's dangerous. You need to pave it. Okay. How much is it? It's going to cost you $2 million a mile. How many miles we got to do? 10 miles. Okay. Let's do it. It's going to cost you $20 million to pave 10 miles of road. What do you think it costs to repave? Let's see how much it costs. How much does New Jersey pay to repave 1 mile of highway? So the cost to repave 1 mile of highway in New Jersey can vary significantly. But studies estimate the average cost for New Jersey Department of Transportation controlled roads to be around $212. So it's $213,000 a mile, including debt service. So basically, when you see them repaving the highways in New Jersey, in North Carolina, it could be cheaper. Here in Jersey, it's $213 per mile, $213,000. How much does it cost to pave a road in North Carolina? Paving a road in North Carolina can range from $1.25 to $15 per square foot. Per mile. Per square foot. What are we, laying tile? So, paving a mile of road in North Carolina can cost anywhere from $2 to $8 million. Wow. Depending on factors like road. Maybe they're talking about new roads. Maybe a new road can cost that much money. How much does it cost to repave repaving a mile of road in North Carolina can cost anywhere from $2 to $3 million for a 2-lane rural road or 4 to 6. Wow, that's so. How much does it cost to repave 1 mile of road in New Jersey? So it's like $2 to $3 million per mile. Yeah, to repave a road. And 4 to 6 million in an urban area. 4 to 6 million. So in reality, the federal government can just, just send, like, you don't need $113 million. Like, how often are they repaving federal roads? Like, what the fuck? What are they doing on a yearly basis? I don't know. Now it says $191 and $191,175. Oh, per lane mile. So if it's 4 lanes, it's $191,000 a lane. I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit confusing. Now it says $1.1 billion per mile of state-controlled road. That can't be. No, $1.1 million per mile. That's cheaper than North Carolina, which is $762,000 more than New York spends. I mean, paving roads is not cheap. Contractors are not cheap to do that kind of work. So in reality, the federal government needs to stop taxing the American people and leave more of the infrastructure work up to the states. You don't need a Department of Transportation. All you got to do is tell the states, here, if there's a problem with our roads, just fucking let us know. That's it. And the government, I mean, you can have a smaller Department of Transportation, that the funding is like minimal, like $2 million. You pay the guy in charge, then you have a few other guys to work with you. I mean, there's companies out there that are worth so much money that are run by a minimal staff. They said the Department of Education had thousands of employees. Thousands. Like, what the fuck are these people doing? Thousands. Let's see. How many employees does the Department of Transportation have? 58,622 employees. What the fuck are these people doing? To like manage transportation? Oh my gosh. 58,000 people. How much does Buttigieg make as the Department of Transportation head? How much does the head of the U.S. Department of Transportation make? $250,000 a year. Like, in my opinion, I would go, what do you do all day? Like, what the fuck are you doing? With 56,000 employees. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Seriously. You're talking about worrying about infrastructure. That the states do all that. In my town, they just rebuilt all the bridges along, like this one here by my house. Oh my God. It took them 5 years. They had to build a bridge before they started removing the old bridge so they can continue the traffic flow. Imagine that. Insane construction. I wish somebody did a time lapse on that. They built the bridge. It took them 1.5 years to build that bridge. It took them forever, which was, pretty cool. And then they started knocking down the old bridges, so they always had, in and out over the bridge. And it's finally finished. And then they had to take down the old bridge. And they just put all new, it took 5 years. Non-stop jackhammering every night. Every fucking night. All night long. Jackhammering concrete. Like perfectly good concrete. And I'm sitting there, why the fuck are they jackhammering all this concrete? Why are they taking it all out? Just to put new concrete. It's stupid. I wonder how much that project cost. Goy? Yeah, I mean, I'm against funding any foreign countries. If you can't stand on your own 2 feet, then be annexed by the United States. That's it. If Israel can't stand on them, they should become like the 51st state. That's it. End the fucking story. So now any American can go live there, just like Puerto Rico. Anybody can go move to Puerto Rico in the United States, live and work there. It's a commonwealth. Any American can go move to the Marshall Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, Samoa, and the many other commonwealths the United States have. That they don't even get the money Israel gets in reality, or even Ukraine now at this point. But Puerto Rico, how much funding does Puerto Rico get every year? Puerto Rico gets like $30 billion a year. It's fucking insane. It's crazy. The money Puerto Rico gets. All right, guys. Thanks for coming into the video. I really appreciate everyone here. All the 47 thumbs up with 167 viewers. We had almost 200 at one time, over 200. And we're at 47 thumbs up. We should be at least at 100 thumbs up. I mean, we had a good live stream. We had a lot of laughs. Some good information. I was caught on, misquoting some information. I fact-checked it through the internet, and I admitted I was wrong. That's what we need to do, I'm not going to sit here and argue if I'm right or wrong, And basically, whatever I said means nothing. It's just me. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not trying to knock anybody down. I'm just stating facts. That the U.S. Board of Education gets $275 million and the U.S. has poor education system. We're paying the Department of Transportation all this money for nothing, and we're being taxed and no one cares. Because like I tell people on all the live streams, all you should be concerned with is wanting not to pay taxes. To tell the government you need to lower my taxes or basically just eliminate them. And we want a system that's based on taxation of goods and services, where lawyers should start collecting taxes for the fees that they charge, and all professionals, right? That's the way the system should be based. On a consumer-based taxation. Only the consumer should be taxed. So when you buy something, or you pay rent, or you lease a car, you got to pay tax, right? But when you pay rent, you don't pay tax. Just imagine if they collected 5% rental tax, and let's say like a 7% rental tax on storefronts. Do you know how much money they would generate? And the landlords would adjust the rents if people can't afford it. I mean, that's just the way it would be. Because, like I said once before, in Manhattan, there's somebody paying $150,000 a month. So if they had to pay the tax on that apartment at the New York State tax rate, it would equal to one extra month of rent that they would have to. It would come out to let me see. It would be like 150,000 times 8.25%. It would be $12,375 a month on 150 grand. But the landlord, The guy, you can go in and negotiate rent. Period. Now, if the landlord could be, fuck you. You got to pay the fucking taxes. End of 150. The guy could say, I'm not going to rent it. Next guy come along. Can you take off $5,000 a month rent? Nope. Landlord says, nope. Won't do it. Another guy comes, yeah, I'll take it. I'll pay the extra money. That's what'll happen. Either people will pay or people will not. Because of the tax. That's just the way it is now. A lot of people won't buy a $4,000 television because they don't want to pay the tax. The tax is the falling off, them saying, fuck you, I ain't paying it. When you go buy a car in New Jersey and the dealer charges you fees, you got to pay tax on that. Yeah, if they charge you a dealer fee of $1,000, you got to pay tax. Why are lawyers exempt from collecting sales tax on the fees they charge? You know how much money lawyers make in every state, every day? Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Their retainers a minimum $2,500. $2,500. So if you get thousands and thousands of lawyers getting at least one job a day at $2,500 and they're collecting a state tax, they could eliminate property taxes. Why are people fighting for this? Why are people here saying we hate Donald Trump? When you should be calling your congressman, your senator, your governor, writing them letters, emails, telling them, when are you going to tell fucking lawyers to start collecting a sales tax and lower my property taxes and eliminate my income tax? Why are they exempt from collecting a sales tax? No, you want to tax the rich. You want to tax people personally. You need to tax the consumer. So if you need a lawyer and you go to a lawyer and he tells you my retainer is 10 grand and you say, well, I can't afford that. Why? Well, because of the tax. I can't pay the tax. The lawyer may eat the tax money and he's going to have to pay it through the less of, or he'll tell you, well, if you don't want to pay the tax, go find another fucking lawyer. Then you'll find another lawyer, and the lawyer will be like, let's see, you'll figure 10,000 times 8.25%, that's $825. So a lawyer can say, okay, I'll pay it. So now he's going to reduce everything, and then at the bottom, put the tax. So instead of charging 10 grand, he's going to charge like $895 plus 8.25%. That'll pay for the tax on the 10,000. That's how it works. That's how business works. And whatever you buy, whatever you do, everything is negotiable. Nothing is written in stone. Just ask. Go to a store and ask, can you give me 20% off? They'll do it. Can you give me 10% off? You can go to Costco. Maybe they won't do it. But if you ask a manager to give you 10% off a television, they may do it. Or whatever you want to buy. Maybe not like grocery shopping, but you can get discounts if you ask for it. And that's what you should be fighting for. Consumer taxation versus citizen taxation of personal income and personal property taxes. That's fucked up. I'm deranged because I want lawyers to collect sales tax? Are you fucked up? I'm deranged, DD? What kind of a name is that? DD, no. What is that, a song? DD, no? I'm deranged. Bro, you need to reevaluate what you go by. That's deranged. What does that mean? 666? I don't know. What does that mean? D. All right, guys. Take care. Peace out. Have a blessed Sunday, and God bless you. Thank you for coming in.